Hello and welcome to session 11 of Dreamers of Kiriak. When we last left our orphans and assorted persons, they had just finished beating a bunch of flaming fearlins into the ground and salvaging what they could of the town. A lot of the townsfolk died in the attack. Some of them survived, especially those who managed to take refuge in the tavern, not the inn. I always want to say inn, but it isn't one. Including your NPC minion dude, Sigmund the Strategic, who even managed to save some of the money as well as some of the lives. So,
That's why
things.
he's strategic.
He is extraordinarily strategic. After the saving of the townsfolk was finished, Bana, the alleged other orphan who none of you remembered, who was apparently in Wrath's, records as having been an orphan in the past, she came into the town and seemed to have been possessed by a god. And I'll go over some of the things that you guys learned from the conversation. You are apparently speaking to Ost, who was one of the four old gods who used to be worshipped. He was known as the god of courage, charity, and domination. And he said that he bought the contract on your lives, so the Neverborn won't attack you anymore. He implied he was the creature you freed from the coffin when you were at the lighthouse, and said that you guys unsealed it. He has the orphans that you guys have been looking for, and he claims he has the orphans, at least. Who knows if he actually does. And he says he'll give them to you if you reseal the lighthouse. And he says Wrath sold all of your souls, including Oshit's, and that he will help you regain your souls in the future. That's it. He's such a nice guy. He says he doesn't. He doesn't know who brought you all to the lighthouse in the first place. And he thought it was really weird that Goras was still alive after sitting in the throne that may or may not have unsealed the lighthouse. He gave you each a sapphire key that he says will unlock the door that is always in front of you leading to the lighthouse, and the keys can be reused. And he exploded Bana's head when he left, so she is unfortunately dead. Rip Bana. People mildly cared about your existence, perhaps somewhere. Let's see. Eric is not with us at the moment, though he may be later. We are also joined by George, and Jordan, and Stephanie. Having received that information that I just mentioned, and seeing as how it is about 3 in the afternoon right now, the majority of the townsfolk here are dead. It's ordinary work life for the people cannot exactly go back to what it used to be. And you have a whole bunch of injured soldiers who are living in your orphanage. What will you do?
Now, Bana had a locket that she showed with 2 figures in it,
yes,
representing the orphans. Were those the actual orphans?
Are you going to pick up the locket and look at it?
Well, that was my next question. Is it still there?
The locket is still around her neck. And I believe it was 2 carved gemstones. I think they were rubies. That looks like the orphans in profile. They certainly appeared like that to you. And if you... would you like to pick the locket off of what remains of her neck?
Yes.
Okay, it is a silver locket. And I can just add that to your character sheet. Orphan locket.
So does this contain the actual orphans? Or are they somewhere else and these are just representing them?
Can you give me an Arcana roll, please? You are aware that magic exists. You're aware that magic items and artifacts exist. This is the first thing that comes to your mind, is perhaps their souls are locked in this locket, hence the name locket. Yeah. It looks like it's probably pretty magical, like, unless Bana / the god just took some time to carve the rubies real quick and stick them in a locket before coming to see you, just for the heck of it.
She seemed a little weird.
You are You don't know exactly what magical process would have gone into stuffing the souls of orphans into a couple gemstones, though.
Well, I'll keep this safe then, just in case.
Okay.
They're a lot cheaper to feed this way.
Jordan, yeah, you can roll for HP.
Thank you.
You're welcome. They are a lot cheaper to feed. Maybe you should turn everybody into gemstones.
This might be the wave of the future.
And rip Mr. Goras. He is healthier than he was previously. That cannot be denied.
True.
So you see Ashit take the locket off of this smoking corpse, which, just became more like the other corpses, I suppose. Except that it only smokes from the neck meat. And she's staring at it intently.
We'll see people try to take the orphans from me now. The game is paused.
Sorry. So Sigmund looks at Goras, and he says, "So, should I open back up the tavern?"
Goras looks back at all of his companions here before responding. Yes, I think that would be a good idea. I'm sure there's many people that need to eat. I'm hungry. Are you hungry?
Not particularly. I feel at the moment like I couldn't eat another bite in my life. I'm a little sick to my stomach, what with all the carnage and the danger.
Yeah, you get used to that. I'm just hungry now, I think. So I've seen plenty of monster guts before.
Well, he hands the money that he had in the bag, unless he already gave it to somebody. I don't remember whether or not he did. I don't think he did. He hands the bag to Solir, and then he trudges into the tavern. And let me... Did I tell anybody how much money there was last time?
Taylor, I am reminded that I did not populate my 4th level spell list. Or I did not have my 4th level spell list populated. Because I'm dumb.
Alright.
I wish there was like an easy way to do that.
Yep. The easy way is for me to make a list of all... I literally don't know what the easy way is. Aside from adding literally every spell, as Jordan previously said, to a 20th level D&D Beyond character and importing them.
It seems like there should be... I mean, everything's easy with Foundry. You think there would be a way to just...
Everything's easy except for it not actually having the content in it.
Right.
Content's important.
It is important, yes. If you know what the spells you want are, then we can... Can you add your spells to on D&D Beyond, and then I can just re-import your spells? Except
probably, but...
I think I need to update the D&D Beyond importer, which I...
Yeah, the trouble with D&D Beyond is it only allows you to prepare them. It doesn't allow you to just import all of them.
Gotcha.
You want the whole list of Druid 4th level spells?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a ton. I'm not familiar enough with this to know what the best way to do that is.
I can just start working on that while you DM, Taylor, if you
I
want.
would
I have permission to create
extraordinarily
items.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
At the moment, Asha is taking in magical gases from the atmosphere and congealing spells within her brain.
Nice.
Meanwhile, Soler is digging through the bag of coins to see what all he was given.
And I'm pretty sure I was too dumb to give the amount. And I'm not going to go look at the recording, so I'm just going to randomly generate some money that you can add to your character sheet right now. Or make a note of if you want to keep the money separate.
So, were there more homes destroyed or more people killed?
There were more people than homes in the town to begin with.
That's true.
I don't even know if there were 17 buildings in the entire town.
I kind of assumed that they lived just on the outskirts in little buildings or something.
There's some little farms on the outskirts, but I mean, not many.
I just want to make sure we didn't have a bunch of homeless people now that need to stay in the orphanage as well.
There wasn't a lot of building destruction. You mostly obliterated the town hall with your lightning. and the most of the fire can be easily-ish repaired compared to, bringing corpses back to life.
I'm sure they can handle that.
$356 gold. I don't know why I highlighted Oshit. $488 silver. $524 copper. Just huge handfuls of cash. The safe, which apparently Roy had managed to be burst open during the panic of we gotta save the tavern. And so this is all money that, Roy had apparently had on hand that Sigmund just kind of scooped into a sack. Probably his entire life savings.
Well, he doesn't need it anymore. No longer being in possession of a life.
Yes.
Okay, so I just added that into my journal
Thank you.
there just to keep it separate from Solaire's money.
It is probably moderately heavy, isn't it?
Depends on which edition of the rules you're using.
Yep. I will make a character real quick and just add that money to him so we can see how much it weighs.
In AD&D, it'd be 135 pounds.
I believe it's 50 gold per pound in 5e.
Gotcha.
Or 50 coins, regardless of value.
Was 27 pounds, apparently.
That's not so bad.
Now, what do you do?
Oh, I have polymorph now.
Oh,
Neat.
lovely.
Oh, Lord. I can only imagine what will happen with that.
The townsfolk begin to wander off, picking up what pieces of their lives they can manage. Everyone has people to bury, probably. Maybe if
Yeah, I
the
have
flames were a
no way to
little
help with that, clearly.
more powerful, they could have gone for cremation, but I don't know that that's feasible at the moment. Even the unsympathetic townsfolk look sad.
So am I remembering correctly? The apothecary get killed.
That is correct, yes. He is now a finite corpse.
What was that Ashit I just saw heading for the apothecary shop?
That was,
little
in
bit.
fact, Oshit, you see a corpse. It is of a half-orc. He is lying on the ground. His flesh is kind of burnt in places, and he's bloated with poison.
Oh, I'd like to raid the shop and see if there's anything useful I can take.
Of course, I would expect nothing less. You find effectively a +1 herbalism kit. This will you replace the bits of your own herbalism supplies with fresher and rarer ingredients. Most of what he has are not amazing, but he has a few expensive treasures that he must have taken with him from some far-off city.
Neat. Is that stuff you add, or is that stuff I add?
I'll add it.
Thank you. He looks kind of like a well full of milk.
He does, kind of, yes.
Was the town in the habit of collecting taxes from the people?
Yes. Those
we know where
taxes
where
are...
they're stored?
They wouldn't be stored. They would be gathered up and immediately given to the taxman. Or
That's
rather,
unfortunate.
sent with the elder to the nearest taxman.
So taxes weren't taken for the benefit of the town?
No, not in the slightest.
Oh,
That's too bad. I was going to return the taxes to the surviving members of the town, but if they're not here, they're not here.
That's not to say that the elders never held a little back for themselves that might be in their lodgings. Which, you know, I haven't set a specific building apart for that, but I could say that you would know where it is.
they just kind of live in the meeting house.
Our elders are a little homeless. That's why we provide them with, you know, onions and carrots. If you would like to find the house of the elder, I can say that you would know where it is and that you can find it. Solaire, would you like to go in and investigate?
Yes, I would.
All right. The door was left wide open as it seems the elder who lived inside fled away, and didn't seem like it did him much because he died with an armful of papers in the middle of the meeting hall. He has a somewhat luxurious bed. He has 2 wooden drawers, which are, upon simple inspection, full of official robes that are probably a grade finer than is necessary for an elder in a little village like this. He has lots of fresh vegetables that may or may not have been the gifts from townsfolk sitting on a little table. He has a big bottle of vodka. Is there anywhere in particular you'd like to look in the room?
So there's a bed in this little chest of drawers, is that it?
Yes.
Well, we'll start with the bed. So it seems
All right.
to be where everybody hides everything.
Can you roll me investigation, please? You cut open the mattress, and you find 12 gold pieces inside it. They're wrapped in a piece of fine cowhide. The elder probably thought himself very clever hiding it here.
And then I guess we will move on to the chest of drawers there.
Another investigation, please. You find a set of officials' robes that would probably fit someone of slight to average build. And you find a silver official's ring, which is, you know, of a far higher quality than he really had any right to. And you also find a pair of sapphire earrings. And I can add any of those that you wish to grab to your character sheet.
Oh, I think he would probably grab all of that except probably the robes. I don't think that would particularly interest him at the moment.
Okay.
Then I guess he would probably just, look around at the floor, the walls, any place that looked like he might have something hidden.
All right. Just give me one moment.
Seemed to be a furniture shortage on the west side of town.
It's the furniture of the mind, used in theaters of the mind.
That was what those creatures were using to, fuel their flames.
And you can give me a Thieves' Tools check, Salir, if you are looking for hidden compartments, etc. in the house. As you go about the methodical practice of, tapping down the baseboard and stuff. And you find that one of the flagstones has been recently seated, and inside a little hollow inside the flagstone, you find 150 pieces of platinum. That is, far too much wealth for any one person in such a disgusting little village as this to have. It is your home and you love it, though. Or you may or may not have. I don't know. I can't see inside Salir's head.
I don't think you'd want to.
Alrighty. Well, again, we will keep that separated from
All right.
Salir's stuff.
And
And if I don't see anything else, then probably go back and rejoin the rest of the group wherever they happen to be.
okay. Goras, what have you been doing this whole time?
Goris did say he was hungry, so I probably would
Yes.
have gone back into the inn and
Sigmund sees
any
you
of the-
enter. Yes.
yeah, go ahead.
Sigmund has been dejectedly picking up stuff that's fallen and has been pushed aside and trying to make it look respectable. He's certainly not regained his attitude of bartender yet, but he straightens up a little bit as you enter. He says, "Yes, sir. What can I do for you?"
Do we have any food available? As I said, I'm quite hungry.
Not much. Those supplies that you mentioned have been a little slow in getting here.
I see.
I've paid, the bakers, etc., for, their goods, as we spoke of, but I have a feeling we're not going to be getting any of those, as I'm pretty sure all our bakers are dead at the moment. But,
That's a problem.
I have this one here loaf of bread. I got this bit of cheese. Here you go, boss.
Do you have anything to eat, Sigmund?
He looks at the half-empty bottle of wine next to him, and he says, "Yes, sir."
I think we'll wait for supplies. There's plenty of, soup back at the orphanage, I believe. I think I can wait for that.
As you say, sir.
Goris will actually sit down at a table here and just pull out a ration and start eating that.
All right. Goras begins to ration himself.
Do we have anything else to drink, Sigmund?
He slides over the bar, carrying the half bottle of wine.
Just
you care for
a
something,
little
please?
bit, please. Just
He
I don't-
pours,
I
he pours you a
don't
little
want to
bit.
impair myself too much. Thank you.
And so there you come in to see Sigmund waiting upon Goras.
At which point, Salir will just pull his tankard out and command it to fill with ale and sit drinking while he watches Goras.
And... ah, shit, what are you doing?
I was just wandering around the town because half of it was black again. Peeking in all the windows.
Uh-huh.
Discovering that
You,
none of the houses are furnished.
you crawled in through that window because
Well,
the door was
locked.
Did I forget to lock the window? I guess I forgot to lock the window. So you crawl into this little gambling hall that stinks of pipe smoke. You find some very marked cards scattered across the tables. This may or may not be the place that people went when Roy kicked them out of his back room for cheating. Just one moment. Eric got back to me.
Oh, he's here.
Ah, I haven't been getting pinged by Discord at all.
Don't worry about it.
Rippity-doo-dah.
I just put down my violin because my body's hurting. So
Oh, well, that's a good thing to do if your body's
Yeah.
hurting.
listen to your body, you know? What?
Doctor, it hurts when I do this. Then stop doing that.
My doctor, it's my job.
So did the towns? Yes. So last session, there was a lot of murder. There were flaming spiders. The party killed the flaming spiders. The conversation that's in the Discord happened, and now the party's kind of drifting around the town and looking for things and for people, and Asha is breaking into people's houses.
Most of the people in them are dead, so I don't think they care.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Jordan.
Gross, there's some food over here.
There are old carrots and onions inside.
You can maybe make more soup.
Goris is very, intent on his ration one, but he hears the word soup, just like in his
Drifting
subconscious
across
in the
the wind.
background. Yeah. He immediately sits upright and heads out the window.
He is
I
determined to
can't do
be
that.
at the soup.
One of the better places to be.
Yes, Ashit, I heard you call for me.
There's food. You were hungry.
I am hungry, yes. This ration is very dry.
Now, Garfield, in the last short period of your life, coming upon this place, you have had to contend with. Actually, I don't think you were part of the party when all of the shenanigans with the soldiers in the orphanage went down.
Nope.
No. So you just kind of were like, hey, look. Looks like some violent people. I am also a violent person. I shall throw in my fortune with them. And then spiders attack the town. And you're like, oh, I suppose it's a good thing these violent people are here. And then a possessed person comes and starts ranting about fate and souls and stuff. And you're like, well, I sure am glad that I'm not one of them who is missing my soul. And then you give yourself a sensible chuckle. And for some reason, you were given a sapphire key that lets you go to the lighthouse, is what the person who claimed to be a god said. And then her head exploded. And that's just where you are right now. And these people are acting like, this is just another day in, the land, which it probably is. It really honestly is, considering monsters have been incurring into the countryside for years at this point. So what do you do? What is your reaction to all this?
It's the whole lot. I guess I'll just hold that key and look at it and sort of wait until someone in my party shows up around me.
It does seem to be like carved of precious gemstone, so there's at least that.
It does seem to at least be somewhat valuable. I suppose I could go sit inside.
Yes, sir. I'm afraid we're not really up and running again yet, but I can try to help you with something.
Well, at the moment I just need a chair, but I'm looking for the other members of my adventuring party, sort of old geezers.
Oh, you're looking for the boss also? Because I don't know where he went. He points at a chair that's underneath the table, about halfway underneath it. He says, "Take that if you need to, sir." But I think they were going off to do some soup. I think. It would.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps you can help them with that. It would be very conducive to the performances of our humble little tavern.
Of course. Old people do like soup. Hello, Solaire. That's your name, right?
Yes, it is. It's good to see you well.
It's good to see you. I hear we're procuring soup.
We are. That's news to me. Gora said something about soup and went running off, and I have no idea what he was talking about.
I see. Well, we should probably follow him around, given his sort of legendary status as he claims it. Also, though, he seems
I
somewhat
don't know what it is
unstable.
with the Chosen One and soup, but... Oh, Asha, do you know where Goras went?
We don't have horses.
That is correct.
Those that correlate with where Gore went?
I think Goras ran off in the middle of the fight. Or the horses, rather, not Goras.
Yes.
I don't know what Goras was doing. I didn't see him most of the fight.
Goras is eating.
Postpone the soup for a short diversion. I have this key. It's said to open the lighthouse. Was the verbiage or
The person was just kind of ranting incoherently, as far as you can tell, and just kind of started passing out these sapphire keys to everybody, including you.
Yes,
And-
we all have a key, and they gave them to us before their head exploded.
Oh,
There's no lighthouse here.
that happened with mine too.
Goris walks out with a mug full of water and just chopped up vegetables floating in it.
Oh,
Lovely.
hello, Goros.
Takes a sip.
That water's
hello.
probably
It
disgusting.
doesn't taste very good.
Well, the last time we were at this lighthouse, that
Tastes like
this
ozone.
thing was speaking of, we got there by going through a hole underneath Goras's bed.
Oh. Well, do we want to go there again?
I mean,
You're taking this awfully well, Garfield.
Well, you sort of learn to roll with the punches when you've seen what I've seen.
it probably would be good to go there, yes, but I'm feeling a bit rough. How about you all?
We don't have horses.
I'm feeling pretty, say, 37 out of 40 with no utilized resources. This is a ballpark.
As one of the horses did get murdered, and one of them ran off to the east.
Ah,
Maybe it went home.
I guess you can
The
make horse
soldiers,
soup.
they had horses, did they not?
The soldiers had a few horses. Most of the soldiers just had to walk. And
We have to appropriate one. Huh.
I think that they brought them to the orphanage.
I don't think you understand. We don't have horses.
You will have to walk,
You
yes.
can walk.
can some? Are there no horses here?
There.
Grass.
You know, that's a good question. Are there any horses here? And the answer is likely not, but we can check.
Well, there's no stable.
The answer is somehow you can certainly try.
Usually, if somebody had horses, they were told to go pay one of the farmers who lives on the outskirts of town to use their barn. And people didn't tend to use horses for regular activity in town unless they were bringing them to deposit goods and then
Grass, strap yourself to the
brought
cart.
them back.
Why?
Because we don't have horses.
Yeah, we're gonna have to walk. Yeah.
No, we can't walk.
There were a total
It's
of
too far.
There were a total of 4 horses roughly around town during the attack, and we'll see how many of them there currently are.
Now, I may be the chosen one, and I may be the youngest and most strappingest of us here, but I don't think I can drag the cart on my own. I could try, though.
In terms of horses, there are no horses.
You're supposed to be the chosen one. We have no power. We can't even get in the cart. The cart is suddenly made of walls.
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was for a purpose from last session.
How long does it take us to get back to the orphanage by cart, usually?
Let me check.
5 days.
Oh, I don't think
I
it
thought
was.
it was a half an hour.
That's what I think.
Yeah, it's not far.
Yeah.
So it's probably not much more than a half-hour walk.
It's like 45 minutes walk.
It's too bad someone can't turn into a bear and pull the wagon.
Have shit turn somebody into a horse. Like, you
I
know,
have
Sigmund.
I have a dumb idea.
Oh no. I love it
Do you
already.
think this cart could be pulled by one creature of sufficient strength, or would it require like
It can be
two
pulled by
decent-
one creature of sufficient strength. It's the cart itself is not terribly heavy. You just need to
Alright.
adjust the harnessing for one person.
Do I hear someone
Person.
about to say summon greater demon?
Goris gets up in the driver's seat of the cart and says, well, you see, there was some silence from the music earlier, and I made a new friend.
Oh.
Everybody
Well-
get in the cart, please.
Oh,
We're going
Oh,
home.
Gosh's.
Okay.
Because I mean, I thought I could try out turning you into a horse. That sounded fun.
Boris crosses his arms over his chest. Says, "Well, I'm waiting for you. Are you gonna?" And then suddenly, a slod appears in front of the cart with 16 strength. I think that's higher than most people in the party.
I'm gonna put 14.
I'm hoping this will work.
Okay, let me... Where did I put it?
Oh,
Oh, you already got him.
yep.
Yes, is he supposed to be what size is he supposed to be? Medium?
I believe they're all medium.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a medium creature into place, very surprised looking. He is a. Can you describe him for the group?
He's a big, a monstrous creature. You know, kind of lizard-like, but he walks on his hind legs. And he's kind of constantly swaying back and forth as if he's listening to some kind of music. You know, because of course. He is clothed, but in kind of rags and stuff. And he's just really big and beefy. His head's about as wide as his whole body, so he's just a very wide lad.
Oh, galaxy wide or a different width?
Just very wide.
He squats down, some kind of effervescent potion in one hand, some kind of fragrant incense stick in his other, and he says, "I have come as requested, my lord. How can I be of service?"
Thank you, my friend. Can you pull this cart and my friends and I back to the orphanage?
He's still for a long moment.
I'm sorry, you want me to pull a cart?
Can you do it?
He looks at it, shrugs.
I can give it a try.
He
What are you, scared?
all
Don't
right,
say that.
all right. Time to find the what? Time to find the "Can my frog pull a cart" table in the player handbook.
It's a good table to have on hand. Especially given us.
He adjusts his little beret and tries to harness himself up as best as he can. Right, he can drag 30 times his strength score. How much is that multiplied by a cart?
Well, 30 times 16 is 480.
The wagon that I picked before does not list it on the item.
All right.
It has a 5,000 pound capacity, but it doesn't list
Okay.
how much it actually is.
All right, how much does everybody weigh?
Ooh,
You
Not
don't ask a lady that.
you're not a lady.
Gosh, it is.
No, I apparently didn't write down Goris's weight, but he's
Okay.
only 5 feet tall, and I imagine was pretty skinny, so probably not much.
All right.
I
Um,
have Blair's weight at 125.
All right.
I didn't write Asha's weight, but she's a dwarf. They're short and kind of stocky,
fair.
right?
125 plus 71 for the stuff Silur's carrying.
I'm
100.
Oh, yeah.
50 pounds, and I have 73 pounds of stuff.
Now,
I
now,
don't think
know
the
from
slot can
personal
pull you off.
experience
What's that?
that I can pull a ton of water on a pallet
Yep.
with a pallet jack.
I think a wagon adds a multiplier as well.
That's what
I
I
think it
thought. I
does,
was.
yeah.
I think it's like
was trying
5
to find it.
times or something.
Yeah,
The wheel is a hell of a technology.
the slot can pull you all.
Yay.
He pulls you all. He strains at it the entire time and makes lots of fairly obscene grunting. Let's be perfectly honest about it. It takes him a while. It's not fun for anyone involved, but you guys get back to the orphanage in half an hour.
The wagon is a 5 times multiplier on
Okay.
carrying capacity. So that's a decent bet.
So that's like roughly 1,800 pounds.
This poor sloth.
19 pounds, actually, exactly.
Thank you very much, my friend.
If
You've
that
still got
is
time
all
with us.
goals.
I can hold you here for some more time if you'd like to come in and join us.
I will do as you command, my lord. That's
Oh,
what
well,
I am here for.
Would he like some fishes?
I would love some fishes.
Yes, come inside. Come inside.
Did the horse come home, or did it just wander off?
Let me pull up the horse and make a wisdom saving throw. Which was basically the motto of last session.
They didn't do too well.
I call surviving doing pretty well.
Well, one of them did okay. The other one, I mean, it kept running around into the fire and
The horse
toward
did.
the enemy.
The horse did not make its way back.
Oh no. Well, maybe it'll come home eventually.
It drifts ephemerally in the void at the moment. By which I mean the woods.
Help yourself to some fish.
There is a full bag of herring, which he begins gorging down.
You definitely earned it pulling us back here. I do appreciate it.
It is
Um,
as you
You can have us
command,
feeling like you
master.
can eat all the herrings.
I am
But that
only
is-
fulfilling
okay, those-
my portion of the contract.
All right. So, are the soldiers still here?
The soldiers are still here, yes.
Where are they?
Not present because I didn't put tokens down, I don't believe.
Okay.
I don't think there were either last time, but there were a lot of them upstairs having medical work done.
Yes. Let me see if I made a note of how many there are. Yeah.
That was rather horrifying medical work, as I recall.
Yep. There were about
Yeah,
60
Goris-
soldiers altogether. About 25 are still upstairs.
Goris may have burned a few to death via soup.
One was eaten by the cauldron, one was burned to death in soup, two more had the blood drained from them with the soup magic.
Yeah.
Normal things.
Oops.
So the soldiers look with mild concern, to say the least, at the slod.
Oh, don't worry. He's a friend. He's my friend, actually. But he could be your friend too, if you would prefer. I mean,
You've tamed a monster. That's
well,
actually
I wouldn't say
impressive.
tamed. He's my friend, right? You are a he, right?
I am at the moment, yes.
Okay. Just checking.
Well, I've never been asked to be a friend before. It seems.
Well, now you're my friend.
It seems exhausting.
You know, sometimes a little bit, but you know, it's great. I mean, you get fish, I get pulled back in a wagon. It's a win-win, right?
Yes, my lord.
So Soler went upstairs to make sure there was no portal underneath
All right.
Glorus's bed.
There is,
Um,
in fact, no portal.
So the beds are full of soldiers.
The beds are full of soldiers, yes.
Sorry, guys, we're just.
And
checking.
it's about 4 in the afternoon by this point.
No portals in here either.
You find no portals anywhere.
George accidentally his whole computer again.
There are... Oh, no. I'm sorry.
He keeps touching the power button.
For some reason, none of the soldiers are lying in the girls' room. They're all squeezed into the boys' room.
Well, I should hope so.
Are any of you soldiers skilled at baking or any other kind of food making?
A couple people raised their hands.
You see, this village's bakers all died.
They seem perturbed at this.
And
what
they may
happened?
need. Oh, it was
It was the Fearlands, wasn't it?
yeah.
Well, why are you acting so calm? We've got to get out of here. They'll be on
We-
their way to kill us too.
We took care of it.
What?
We killed them all, and but the town was still on fire, and we didn't get there in time to save everyone. So the bakers are dead, as well as many others.
He looks.
But there's still some people alive, and they need food.
They had to give up on their dreams.
He looks between you and the slod a couple times, and just nods slowly. So it's safe there now.
Relatively, yes.
Oh, all right.
I mean, most of the buildings are, either burnt down or partially burnt or crashed open, or there's bodies and lots of. And we never know when they may return. But in the meantime, they need food. So if any of you would be willing to, we take up temporary residence there and just help out in that way. I mean, it's more peaceful than being a soldier, right?
Their commanding officer thinks about it for a while and then tells you that he will give you able-bodied men to help repair and serve the town until the people upstairs are well enough that they can march on.
That'll do for now. Maybe you can teach some of the other townsfolk how to bake. In the meantime, we need bread. We're always low on bread.
None of them know how to bake. They mostly know how to make soup.
Kind of. Well, soup is fine. Soup is perfect, actually. That's preferable, if we're being honest.
Yeah. They cook some mean dumplings, apparently.
I tried to make some soup earlier. It did not go well. It tasted like ozone. So if any of you are better at making soup, then absolutely.
None of them know what ozone is.
It's a chosen one thing. Don't worry about it.
Made the soup last time.
Some people have some unfortunate memories associated with the soup. But, there's rumor among them that they can make better soup than you.
Challenge accepted.
We should have a soup making competition. That will just mean there's more soup.
This seems agreeable all around. The talk immediately turns to what exactly they're supposed to use to make the soup.
That's a good question.
Almost everything edible, except apparently for that entirely.
My secret.
The only available food is the entirely full bag of herring, which is quickly being emptied. They have kind of devoured everything else.
Anymore.
Can you make soup out of giant frog?
His head swivels around and he just stares at you.
He's not a frog. He's a slod.
Can you, whatever.
I will not be made a soup.
damn
That is not
slob.
in my contract.
I don't think that would work anyways. He's not like really here. He's just kind of sort of here. It's he's like here and not here at the same time,
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's like my other friend. I can see him. You can. He's here and not here.
Out of the ale.
The officer sends some of his soldiers out to go scavenging for meat in the forest, and otherwise sends his men into town. What will you guys do now?
I suppose we should probably try and get into that hole underneath of Goros's bed.
The hole does not appear to be there, according to Ush.
There's no hole there.
Oh,
Goras, why is there no hole under your bed?
I don't know. It just sort of was there one day, and then it wasn't.
you know how to get it back?
Oh, that was Wrath's thing. Wrath put it there.
Who's Wrath?
Ah, shit, can you put the hole back?
I never know. I
He's
don't know how to put a hole under a bed.
Wrath is buried right outside.
Oh,
And also other places.
In several
Yes.
places.
In
did
several
I see
places
Wrath
outside.
before, or did I forget about it?
Wrath has been killed several times in several different forms.
Yes.
Oh,
But
I think you
he's
showed up
finally
after.
dead.
Yes.
yes, I don't really remember that.
You didn't miss anything. He was a very unpleasant person.
You're lucky I'm upstairs and can't hear that.
This was his house, though, so he probably still haunts the place, even though he's already been ghost killed.
At the very least, he haunts your memories.
He's both here and not here. Like many other things in Goros's life.
No holes under beds up here.
You find 0 holes or portals or tunnels of any kind.
So these keys we were given, they must
Yes.
go to something. Can we just try inserting them in random doors until we find the one that opens to the lighthouse?
You can, yes.
That makes sense to me.
That works. Or I'll go for the booze closet first. I tried this door with the key.
I guess I will head to the playroom.
The door opens, and it opens into a swirling cosmic void.
What the hell?
Everybody, it worked. It was the booze closet.
It was the booze closet all along, of course.
Where's all the booze then?
I don't know. It's gone. Actually, I already stepped through. I say into the emptiness on the other side of that void.
Come along, friend. You can take the fish with you if you would like. I don't know how much longer I've got with you, but might as
Into
well.
the booze
All
closet
right.
we go.
The booze was important.
Whoop. Yep. There we go.
Yep.
Hold up.
Would it have been any door, or was that just really lucky?
The world may never know.
I kind of think it would have not been just any door. Or not been just lucky, rather.
If Solara had continued to open the playroom door, would there have been 2 cosmic swirling voids?
That's a really good question.
It's too bad it never got over there.
This place again.
This place again.
Well,
You
I'm
arrive-
reasonably sure the booze closet was the source of Wrath's power.
You know, that does make a lot of sense.
Gave him powerful mastery over the spirits.
Ashit's never been here, correct?
Ashit, as a witch doctor-y person, you have had some kind of communion with the other side. You may not have been in this exact place before, but you recognize the swirling cosmos as the domain of creatures that live in another reality. This is the realm of dreams.
Garfield, there is a throne here. It is only for the chosen one. Do not sit in it.
So I may have seen this when I was high on mushrooms at some point.
Very likely. Aren't you always high on mushrooms?
A little bit,
Isn't
yeah.
that the source of your powers, being high on
I mean,
mushrooms?
they kind of grow from my nose, so. Anytime I want, I just, like, pick one off.
You have a mustache? And you see a broken fence. Looks like people pushed their way through it, and beyond is a kind of a stone altar with an open wooden coffin on it, surrounded by candles.
Yeah, that was us. If you were wondering.
Well, I was just about to say what kind of idiot would open something like that, but now I know what kind of idiot would open something like that.
I'm pretty sure Wrath made me do it, but my memory is too bad to remember.
We made a beeline right for it.
All right. Is there a lighthouse here, or is this a lighthouse?
You know, they mentioned a lighthouse before, but I don't remember. I think it was just called the lighthouse.
Yeah, I don't remember there being like an actual lighthouse with a light.
Do we see a
Be
lighthouse?
careful where you step.
So clearly,
I don't know that
this is
you're...
important.
Are you able to see anything where you're going, Garfield?
Not really.
Okay. How do I have the lighting
Moving
set up
around,
here?
Poking my feet.
There's dim darkness wherever there's no candlelight. Everything is very obscured for you.
Oh, okay, then I can see, yeah. Didn't know if I was supposed to be able to see. Oh, yeah, there's some black as well that I can't see.
Yeah, this throne just south of where I'm standing. Don't sit on it.
Okay, I actually
That's
can't
the
see
that's
you.
the chosen one's chair.
You see an ocean that spreads out underneath a kind of seaside cliff edge, but the ocean looks like the glimmering night sky full of stars. You can only tell that it's water by the soft crashing of the waves.
This looks like somewhere the most important person in the room should be sitting.
I mean, I already sat there and proved I was the chosen one.
Boy.
There is a boat that I'm frantically making as we speak.
Oh,
Where do we see
Like,
this
look at that
assembling
boat.
itself?
so describable.
Hi, Mr.
It looks
Lovecraft.
like it was built by the same person that built the cart.
It is a boat that seems to be made of... It seems to be carved of opal, and it glows with an inner light. There is nobody in it. It is just a big ol' skiff. There is a floating orb in the middle of the big craft. It bobs
Was this
gently.
always here?
I don't remember it.
So we should probably get on it then.
I suppose. That is different. That is new.
Maybe the boat will take us to Anthony.
Oh, okay, we're going.
You all step onto the craft.
It's a good thing we didn't rest first.
Oh, we might have missed this.
The sphere in the middle of the ship, that's just kind of hovering, it has sigils and signs scrawled all over it, as well as little thumbprints with whorls carved into them. The orb spins ever so slightly, and it changes its position along with the rocking of the craft, as though it is hovering directly above the craft itself rather than hovering in the middle of the air.
And I don't understand the symbols on the outside, right?
Let me check people's languages.
I mean, technically, Gorse can't read,
Well, yes.
but Common and Elvish.
Yeah, you cannot. So the Slod jumps happily into the boat, and he says, "You impress me, my lord. I didn't realize that we had a proper mode of conveyance."
Of course, for the chosen one, this is just proper and correct. Yes.
If we had one of these, what would we bother with that craft out there for with the wheels?
Well, I don't think this one can leave this place, unfortunately.
Oh,
Stuck inside the booze closet, you see.
that's unfortunate. We might have to widen the door a little bit. I am somewhat skilled in carpentry. Perhaps I can help you with that later.
That might be worth looking into, yes.
He puts his hands upon the sphere, and he says,
Well, where are we off to, my lord?
Where are we off to? The lighthouse?
Yeah, isn't
this the lighthouse?
Isn't this the lighthouse? That's what I was under the impression of.
Yeah, I kind of thought this was the lighthouse too. I'm trying to think of where we needed to go.
I don't know.
This does
where
not
else we
look like
would
a
be.
lighthouse to me.
But they kept calling it one, didn't they?
It used to be a lighthouse when it was bigger, when it was more complete.
You're familiar with this place.
Yeah, my forefathers took these babies all across the everywhere. And
Used to ride these babies for miles,
Yeah.
you could say. Yeah.
yes, those. Except we don't really have miles here, I suppose.
Oh, I see. Of course. Why? I'm sorry for imposing our customs.
Well, the lighthouse used to be a beacon. We haven't been able to come that way in quite a long time. I don't know much more about it, I suppose. I'm just very happy that I get to partake in the traditions of my ancestors.
Well, where do you suggest we go?
I know a good place to get a drink, but there's some rather unsavory characters there. You had nothing in mind? You
Gorse looks at the rest of the group.
I just wanted to get this out of the way. I don't plan on taking that bounty that was on your heads. I am very much aware that it's gone. I just didn't want you to think that I might have any chance of double-crossing you. That's quite impossible, but with the contract and everything.
I appreciate you being upfront about that. Yes.
He seems very happy.
Talking to the frog right now?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
this
okay,
was-
I thought so. I was like confused about this contract.
Shit, did we have any place in particular we were supposed to go?
We were supposed to go to the lighthouse.
I thought this was the lighthouse.
Well, we're here. What are we supposed to be doing?
He asked you guys to reseal the lighthouse.
Ah, right.
He did not tell you how that would happen.
Like, if this is the lighthouse,
The implication was that it was unsealed when Goras sat on the chair. He may have even said that explicitly, I can't remember.
That sounds right. Now that you mention it.
that's what I'm looking to say.
If Goris sits on the chair again, will that seal it?
I guess I could try that.
You, isn't that one of those, what do they call them? The cataclysm chairs? No, that's not quite it. It's the calamity chairs. That's what they're called. The thrones of calamity. I think that's their fancy name. Aren't they supposed to kill you if you sit on it?
Well, I sat on it once, and I was fine.
Oh, maybe it's not one of those things then.
I mean, what did you all see when I sat on it? Because I just kind of blacked out for a second.
Wasn't there for this?
Sillier, you were here.
So you're the only other person who was here.
Yes.
That time? Oh no.
And to be honest with you, I genuinely don't remember what happened.
Oh,
I
look,
believe you saw
look,
him
go wrong.
convulse for a while, and then he just kind of woke back up.
So
Well-
Goras's butt unsealed the lighthouse. Perhaps Goras's butt is the key.
Perhaps.
The chosen butt. Of course, gets back on the throne. Oops. Goras gets
Okay.
back on the throne.
Please give me a charisma saving throw. Taylor's favorite phrase.
Eh.
Nice.
You clench everything that you can clench, and a powerful surge of psychic energy collapses inward from every remaining stone of the lighthouse into your brain. Your entire sense of self is evaporated and then recondensed over a period of thousands of years that all are, kind of squeezed into a single moment. And the other ones of you see beams of purple light just kind of sprout out of every one of Goras's orifices and sweep around, causing tremendous damage of incredible heat wherever they touch something. Thankfully, the beams of light do not touch any of you. And then he slumps back down and twitches for a few moments before sitting back up. Goras, you feel perfectly fine.
I blacked out again. What happened? Oh,
Did you seal it?
Goras,
did I?
You farted out, beams of light there, Goris.
as you come back into consciousness, a voice asks in your mind what you would like to do.
Oh, of course, speaks out loud. I would like to reseal the lighthouse, yes.
There's a sudden cracking sound, and the throne under your butt cracks in half.
Yeah, he said butt crack.
I did, yes.
So we could have just broken it.
Maybe? I just heard something in my head that asked me what I wanted to do, and I said reseal the lighthouse, and then it broke, so I think maybe that part was important.
A sudden gust of wind hits everybody, and I need everybody to make me a charisma saving throw.
Uh-uh.
Resume.
All right. Nice. Good old ±1. All right, the Slad, Garfield, and Salir are all banished from this plane back to their home plane. And let me see. How do I drag one person from one map to another? I used to know how to do it. Why can't I remember?
I think if you go to a map, you can click players in the player menu at the bottom.
Oh, gotcha.
You can do it that way.
Oh, and George is still gone. I assume using Stephanie's mic. Thank you for being able to... Oh, there's George again. Yeah. So Goras and Ashit, you remain. You are none worse for the wear. And back in the orphanage, those who were banished, except for the Sled, they wake up and see everybody else lying unconscious on the ground within the liquor closet. Goras and Ashit, what do you do?
Well, I knew the liquor cabinet had such strong stuff.
It's Wrath kept good stuff around. What did you do to them?
I didn't do anything.
Well, you sat down and then they disappeared.
No, that was after I sat down. We were talking, and then something happened.
Well, bring them back.
I try to bring them back.
Oh, how do you try to bring them back?
I clench everything real hard again.
Nothing happens.
I speak out verbally. Let my friends back, please.
Where am I supposed to be? Because I can see the
You're supposed to be in
lighthouse
the
map, but I can't. I'm not there.
You should be in the orphanage. Did I?
Well, it may have to do with the fact that I had to reboot.
Okay, you should be back there now.
Yes, now I'm back in the booze
Okay.
club.
Unfortunately, Goras, it doesn't work.
Well, I think, Ashid, I know something about this. You see, I am the chosen one. Yes, you are aware of this.
Is
there's
it
only
sealed?
I think so. There's only one chosen one because I'm chosen, right? They chose me. I'm the chosen. So I think I only get to choose one thing to have happen, and I chose to seal the lighthouse.
What? Sure. Sure.
Goras nods like it makes perfect sense.
Goras is covered in sweat. He looks far crazier than you've ever seen him.
Have you seen my slod?
No, he disappeared with everyone else.
Hmm.
Where do we go? How do we get out of here? Are we sealed in now that you've sealed it?
Good question. My slot did say there was a good place to get a drink, which makes sense since this is, the booze closet. I'd like to cast comprehend languages.
Okay.
Which I could do psionically for a discount. To try and understand the orb in the middle of the boat.
You cast Comprehend Languages, and you see a straightforward set of written instructions appear on the orb. It's kind of like a globe, sort of. It shows you where you are now, and it shows you other locations, and it gives you instructions for how to rotate the orb to get you from where you are to over there. The names are places that you don't even remotely recognize, however, but your comprehend languages lets you recognize that these are names and not just words for other things. You can see one of them is highlighted, which is the one that the slot had partially activated before asking you where you wanted to go.
Well, I suppose we could go get a drink. Does that sound good?
No. We need
That's all
to
they
go
think we can really
home.
do. Well, my slot said we should go here to get a drink. Might be some unsavory characters there, he said. Maybe they'll know more. We could go talk to them. I don't know. Do you know how to get out of here? How did we get out of here last time? But you weren't here.
Are you asking me?
Yes. I'm
Boy,
talking
you
out
brought
loud.
us here, and You did something with your ass, and now we're stuck here.
Yeah, I tried to do something with my ass again to bring our friends back, but it didn't work. Yeah, we've been over this.
Squeeze harder.
I tried.
I think you might vaguely remember, Goras, that you got back the last time by Salir shaking you awake from the other world.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Salir.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think that was the case.
I mean, what else can we do? But we could go back to where we came in, like Graves over there, I guess, and just chill. But we got this really nice boat, and I like I said, I could really use like a nice drink and some nice
Well, how
food.
do you make the boat move? You squeeze
Goris
your
goes
butt
to say,
again?
Goris goes to say like this, and then actually pushes the globe, and the like this.
The craft lifts up a little bit and begins to move. And you're all of a sudden moving quickly away from the shore of the lighthouse and speeding through the cosmos on your little glowy craft.
Great, now we'll never find our way back.
It's simple, see.
In his sleep, back in the orphanage, Goras begins to just kind of twitch. Is George gone again? Let's see.
No, I'm here.
Okay, it's not listing you as being on the map.
We can return there at any time. I just go, I can do the opposite.
I'm back to looking at the shore again.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm not sure why.
Are you able to see on the shore?
Just the map and the outline of the boat. I can't see
Gotcha.
if there's anybody on the
Yeah, I was
thing.
gonna
There's
say
no
you don't
lighting.
have a token.
Is Ashit also twitching or just Goras?
Just Goras.
And Garfield is there with me in the booze closet?
He is, yes, and he's awake. Garfield, do you do anything upon waking?
Just look around myself,
You see flasks of alcohol.
drink some.
I'm
drink
going
some.
to check Goras to make sure he's not seizing or anything. Maybe open an eyelid or see what he's doing there.
If you force an eyelid open, he wakes up.
Oh, I was on a boat. Now I'm here.
You were dreaming, Goras.
A good
Oh, that was my slot talking about here? Was this the place to get a drink all along? That's a fast boat. I arrived very quickly.
I'm not sure. I don't know where your slot is.
Asha, wake up. We're here.
Hello?
Shake Asha.
Oh, for God's sake. Is this the place we're supposed to get a drink?
Yeah, I think so. I think the boat arrived on time. It was very fast.
You are, in fact, surrounded by alcohol.
I've heard worse reasons to drink.
Goris gets a drink.
Take as much as I can hold and carry it back to the table. I've earned it.
Well, you collectively have a few armfuls of alcohol.
So how did you get here before us? Did you take the boat while I was on the chair?
No. 1 minute I was standing there, and the next minute I was standing here.
Ah, that's what happened to me. Maybe you were on the boat. It's really fast. It's
Well,
quite
you
impressive.
flashed all sorts of colors out of all parts of you there for a moment, and then suddenly I was back here.
I don't remember that. But I trust you. Interesting.
It's probably better that you don't. Things were coming out of places things shouldn't be coming out of.
Oh, I see. Boris drinks.
Garfield, are you remaining in the liquor closet?
I'll grab a.
How much gin have you
medium
drunk so
bottle
far?
of Something. Eric doesn't drink gin, so I don't know how much.
He'd be drinking whiskey.
Any amount of gin is too much gin.
Yeah, whiskey. No, that's not true. There's good gin. Just haven't had it yet. Yeah, just like whatever,
Okay,
something.
you grab a flask
liter.
and you thonk it on the table. It strikes... Let's see, would it strike anyone? It would strike Salir. It almost seems like the liquor closet is restocking in the same uncanny manner as the herring.
I'm not gonna argue with that.
Solaire definitely approves.
You quaff a lot, and everybody can get 1d6 temporary hit points,
Oh, lovely.
Nice.
just like real life. Garfield needs something stronger, apparently.
Yeah.
I already had 9 temp hit points. Do I still have those?
You can keep those unless you would lose them when you went out of your mushroom form. I don't know how
I
those
don't
work.
remember why I had them.
You get them when you go into your mushroom form, and you went into your
Okay.
mushroom form.
I don't know if I lose them. Let me see.
Well, Garfield, that was that your character's first experience coming into the dreaming when you weren't, sleeping?
Yeah.
How does he react to that? How does it make him feel?
Stoically. He's sort of taking it all in stride and trying to figure out what's going on, but not too panicked.
Yep. Well, yes.
So, Chorus, did we accomplish what we were supposed to accomplish at the lighthouse?
I think so. I mean, some voice spoke to me. I didn't recognize it, and it said they'd asked me what I wanted to do since I was on the throne, and I said seal the lighthouse, right, like that we were asked to do. And then it cracked right down the middle, and I couldn't find you all. So Ashton and I took a boat ride to get to the place where there's a drink, and it turned out to be here all along, the booze closet. It's kind of a crazy coincidence. But yes, I think so. It seems like
So, what now?
Well, how can we tell if it's sealed or not?
I mean, we could just wait for more contact. I suppose all the Ben is dead now. I'm not sure who else Ost will contact us through.
We have no way to contact him.
Do you?
I have a look over the locket and see if it's got any indication.
Horse.
You have done your task well, says the horse.
Uh-oh. Great, I'm hallucinating. What the hell does he have in that closet?
Horse?
It is, in fact, the horse that ran away during the battle.
There's a horse.
Horace, why are you sticking your damn head in the house?
You have sealed the lighthouse as I have asked. Very
Just
well.
checking. You all can hear this too, right?
Hell. Get this thing outside before its head explodes.
Horse that's talking.
Outside, Goras.
The horse turns to look at you in particular, Garfield.
Hello?
Oh dear, a terrible fate has befallen you. I am truly sorry.
Oh. Should I tell my player to get a new backup sheet?
It ignores you.
You have an imaginary friend too?
Goras, get this thing outside.
This player, does it play music?
Oh, deepest lore. It
Well-
does.
I think it does, yes.
Huh. You are a chosen one as well.
I am not cleaning that up when it explodes.
As I promised, here are your orphans. The horse's jaw unhinges, and it vomits up 2 orphans onto the ground.
Oh god.
What?
Goris tiptoes over and begins to just press to digitate them.
Are they conscious?
Let me try to figure out where I stowed the orphans.
Solaire's just going back to the table and to his tankard because this is just all too much.
Are the orphans conscious?
Hold on. I need to figure out where they are. Okay, why did only one of them paste? Oh dear, did I send one of them outside the map again by accident?
Oh, no.
Oh no, there he is. The binary captive. They are both unconscious.
Let me just clean these up real
You
quick. just,
clean them up from the horse saliva. The horse's jaw rehinges.
Thank you.
They seem to be still alive.
Well, that's good.
Why did we want them back again?
Because they're my orphans.
They're my trainees.
Ah, okay. Back to my drinking.
There
They
you go.
learning insanity from you or something else?
You left sanity behind long ago, child. This is your
Oh.
fate.
Mr. Godhorse,
Yes,
are you going to explode your head all over my kitchen?
I will remove this vessel's head before I explode it.
That's much appreciated. Do you want a drink?
No.
Well, what should we do next?
Now that the immediate threat has been quelled, I have another request for you. If you complete the first portion of this, which will set in motion events which will, after that point, be unmitigable, then I will assist you in regaining your souls.
Okay. I like the sound of that.
We must kill the accursed saints who hold this nation in thrall. Then I can
sounds-
return.
Just checking. You said accursed saints.
Yes.
Is that different from?
Well, I'd only heard of like the holy saints.
Yes, those. They're not saints, you see. They have called themselves that. They have assumed godhood, but it does not belong to them. They did not earn it. They only pretend at it.
So you're saying they claim to be chosen ones, but they are not chosen.
Yes, that exactly.
Gorse looks offended. How dare they?
I have prepared a place for you in the north. If you go there, you will find the instructions which my servants have laid out. You can at that time determine whether you wish to continue with this path or not. I will not sugarcoat things. If you fail, you will be tormented for all of eternity. They may be only pretending gods, but they have quite a lot of power. But then I suppose if you've lost your souls, then unfortunate things might happen to you on an eternal scale regardless. I know the Neverborn do enjoy turning human souls into pets. It does strike me as a little strange that if there are Neverborn who already possess your souls, that they did not turn in the bounties. I leave now. The head separates from its body, and
Oh dear.
it floats through the kitchen and carefully passes out the door before exploding.
Why did he not just back out
Because he said he would remove the head before he exploded it.
from the window?
Then the body falls over.
God.
Of
That's another
course.
thing I gotta bury.
So
course.
meat is back on the menu.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, have at it.
We have a lot of soldiers to feed.
Okay. Who has, like, butchery skills?
A good half of the soldiers raised their hands.
I mean,
Oh,
I
they're
did
still here.
I did a pretty good job with Wrath before. I mean,
What did the soldiers make of that? Did they hear what the horse was saying, or did they just see us looking at a horse?
They are all staring at you in abject horror.
Did they see the horse head floating through
I
the house?
have to assume so. That was a bit of a long conversation.
Well, you never know. It's... One of you, or all of you, or some of you, go put the horse in a more
Tasty.
a more portable state.
A more potable state.
Go cut it up,
Several
wrap it in butcher paper.
Several soldiers make a mad scramble for the door.
I'm just gonna poke the orphans with my staff until they wake up.
They wake up eventually. The locket around your neck suddenly goes really red hot. Really red hot? Red hot.
Oof. Well, I never put it on. It was just in my pocket.
The locket in your pocket goes really red hot. Really red hot, red hot.
really.
Drop that. Drop that.
Red hot.
Oh, drop that in the water over here.
You drop it in the water and it lets out a hissing sound as it cools off, so that it's no longer really red hot.
Okay, if I take it back out of the water, is it fine?
It's cool to the touch now.
Are there still figures inside of it?
No, it has become a tiny little map of the continent.
Oh,
And there is, if you squint with your beady little eyes, as small as you can squint them, you can see there is a label to the north, where the city of name that I have to now come up with is there. One
just,
second.
it's just a blinking cursor. Orphans, you better go upstairs. Get some rest. Boy, there's some guests in there. Just find a bed.
They mutely obey.
I'm sure they had names at one point.
Okay, so they added like support for this recently. Native and Foundry, you can like drag notes onto the map, so I don't have to use the town thing that I previously did. So if I go to this and I do a this, it made a little thing to the... did it just disappear? Okay, now if you go to the continent map, you should see some hexes. To the north is a little notebooky looking thing that it doesn't look like it. Oh, it will. Let me choose an image that I'll worry about later.
We might have to have permission over the note.
Oh, it won't even let you see it otherwise. Gotcha. Yeah. Should be able to at least observe it now.
Ah, yes.
I don't know if that lets you click on it and see the notes or if it just lets you see that it exists.
Yep, to both.
Okay.
Sounds Bolavi. Bolavi.
And that is the city that is marked and labeled on the tiny little map that's in the locket.
Oh, it's this city to the left,
Nope, it is to the north.
to the north. I don't
Should
see
look like a
one of
little
them.
book.
I don't see anything at all.
Oh, okay. If you go to your all the players go to your like toolbar on the top left, right? Second from last, there's a journal notes thing. You may have to toggle notes
yeah.
display
Oh,
on.
that's weird. Okay.
I had it on already for some reason, but I do remember that being like a weird
Gotcha.
little detail.
Yeah, I guess I'll switch it over to just being a...
Oh, there it is.
Another
Okay.
thing later.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, thank you,
Sure.
Jordan. But, yeah, that is what appears. I should probably remove the horse corpse.
Well, have they finished butchering it?
They will once some time has passed.
So this is all the way at the northern end of this mountain chain.
Yes.
What could possibly go wrong getting up to there?
And I think we're going to end early there for the moment. And depending on the circumstances of whether or not we're going to keep playing, we may pick up with the party setting off for a new destination or making preparations to deal with something else in town.
All right.
Thank you guys very much for playing today.
I will get my availability
Thank you for
sorted.
running.
Thank you.
If you wouldn't
thank
mind
you, Sarah.
populating my 4th level spell list,
Okay.
that would be
Yes,
wonderful.
I put the spells in the item section. So
Okay.
They should be easy to drag over.
My availability is a nightmare.
Yep. I am at the moment assuming that you are just not going to be able to make it. If
Yeah,
you
if I can, that's great. But if I can't,
if
that's probably...
if we figure out a time that could work for other people, then you can look at your schedule, and if it seems like you could definitely make it, then we can make we can say, well yes, we'll keep doing it this way so that Eric can keep playing. But we don't even know when George and Stephanie can do it at the moment precisely. So
And hey, if I'm like in Claremont randomly, 'cause I'm usually there,
that would be
I'll
cool.
Drop in and heckle.
So how far do you live?
About 600 miles away.
Oh, that's not too far. You're fine.
Maybe Goris can learn to summon Garfield.
that
Yes.
does seem like it would be, just summon everybody into, the dream world. It'll be cool.
perfect.
Clench super hard.
How does it work to have like people in person and then one person like phoning in? Does that work at all?
Have you heard of
Peop-
FaceTime?
People have done it before, and I've never heard of it working well.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the idea is cool.
right.
Yeah. Have a good night, guys.